Hello guys, let's begin. So today I will start from the modern institution of Lok Adalat is presided over by a sitting or retired judicial officer such as chairman with usually two other members, a lawyer and a social worker. So in previous video we saw Lok Adalat, we saw Nyay Panchayat, right, and how they use mediation, negotiation or ADR, that is arbitral processes only, to resolve the disputes or the cases that are headed over to them, and how this Nyay Panchayat system is, how the concept of it is developed and what it is as an institution, as an organ. That all we did in the previous video. Evolution of movement called Lok Adalat was a part of strategy to relieve heavy burden on the court. So Lok Adalats were basically made so that the heavy pendency of cases on the higher level of courts can be reduced, and also to lesser their burdens. And if you remember, Lok Adalat means court of the people, right? Lok stands for people and Adalat means court. So that's what we did in the previous video. And now, as an institution in Lok Adalat, obviously if there is an organ or if there is a committee as such, then there is a person who heads that committee, right? So the head or the president, you can say, of Lok Adalat is a retired judicial officer who is known as the chairman, and there are other two members, one of whom is a lawyer and the other one is a social worker. So the composition is in this way. One is retired judicial officer, that is chairman, who is the president of Lok Adalat, and two other members, one is lawyer and the other social worker. Lok Adalat has jurisdiction to settle any matter pending before any court, as well as matters at pre-litigative stage, that is disputes which have not yet been formally instituted in any court of law. Means those cases which are not brought up or which are not taken to any court of law in India yet. कोई भी केस हम हाई कोर्ट या डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट में नहीं ले गए, हम डायरेक्टली उसको लोक अदालत में ले जा रहे हैं, तो ऐसे मैटर्स पे भी लोक अदालत की जुरिस्डिक्शन है। ये नहीं कि जो हाई कोर्ट में अगर कोई केस है तो वही लोक अदालत डील करे, या डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल कोर्ट का केस है तो वो लोक अदालत डील करता है। नहीं, कोई भी केस हो, चाहे वो किसी कोर्ट में अभी तक टिल डेट जब आपने लोक अदालत में वो केस फाइल किया, उस डेट तक वो केस, वो मैटर किसी और इंडियन कोर्ट में नहीं डाला गया था। तो ऐसे केसेस, ऐसे डिस्प्यूट्स को भी लोक अदालत डील कर सकता है। एंड ऑल्सो अदर देन दैट, एनी मैटर विच इज़ पेंडिंग बिफोर एनी कोर्ट ऑफ लॉ, ठीक है। इफ देर इज अ डिस्प्यूट विच इज़ पेंडिंग फ्रॉम अ लॉन्ग टाइम, सो पीपल वांट इट now it to get resolved in a shorter span of time, so they have brought that pending case to Lok Adalat. So Lok Adalat can deal with that case, and also it can deal with the disputes which are not yet taken up to the any court of law in India. Such matters may be civil or non-compoundable criminal disputes. Now you see, they are telling that what is the jurisdiction or the arena of cases that Lok Adalat can deal with, right? It may be civil cases or it may be non-compoundable criminal cases. Salient features. Salient is somewhat unique or special features of Lok Adalat are participation, accommodation, fairness, voluntariness, neighborliness, transparency, efficiency, and lack of animosity. So what are the salient features of Lok Adalat? That accommodating and dealing with all sorts of disputes, and voluntarily you can approach the court. This Lok Adalat system, it is in your vicinity because it's court of the people, so it's somewhat like of your neighborhood. It is transparency, it ensures transparency in the matters that are brought to them, and it is efficient because the main aim of setting up this system was to reduce the burden of higher level courts of India. So it is as transparent and as efficient a working as the other courts of law in India have. Okay, now benefits of Lok Adalat. There is no court fee, and even if the case is already filed in the regular court, the fee paid will be refunded if dispute is settled at the Lok Adalat. Now you see, you don't have to pay. See, it's how friendly to the people this system is, that there is no court fee. Generally, if you file a case in another court of law or in regular courts in India, then you have to pay some sort of fees to the lawyer as well. And also, for the case to be taken up to that court, you need to pay some amount, right? But in Lok Adalat, there is no such amount of money that need to be paid by the disputes, by the parties to the dispute. And if like if that case is pending in other court of law and you have brought that case to the Lok Adalat, as we saw, it can be done. So, if there is a dispute which was taken up to a regular court of law, but because of its pendency of longer period of time, now the persons have brought it to the Lok Adalat system. And if Lok Adalat is able to solve that dispute, to resolve that dispute, then the amount of fee or the amount of money that was paid by the parties to the dispute in the regular court, that would be refunded to them. There is no strict application of procedural laws, and disputing parties can directly interact with the judges. Now, what happens in regular courts? There is a high position, that is high rank or high position, that is provided to the judges, right? So, the people or the parties to the dispute, they cannot directly interact or have a conversation with those high ranking judges. They do so indirectly by the help of the lawyers that they appoint, right? But that is not the case in Lok Adalats. It is very friendly system, and it is, the word itself suggests, the court of the people. So people or the parties in dispute can directly talk or have a conversation with the judges. Decision of Lok Adalat is binding, and its order is capable of execution through legal process. Now, as I said, it is as efficient, as transparent as the other courts of law in India are. So, the decision that is given, or the verdict that is provided by Lok Adalat, that is also binding on the parties as the verdict of any other regular court of India would be. And also, through legal processes, means the decision is legal and it's binding on the parties, and you have to obey it, you have to execute it through the legal rules or provisions that are provided in various books of India. Now, this did you know information? The first Lok Adalat was held on March 14, 1982 at Junagadh in Gujarat. Lok Adalats have been very successful in settlement of claims, including motor accident claims, matrimonial family disputes, labor disputes, disputes relating to public service such as telephone, electricity, bank recovery cases, etc. As we saw, the jurisdiction or the arena of cases that Lok Adalats can deal with, so it may be any claim, any dispute, or any matter that is brought up to these courts. They can deal with all sorts of claims. They can help to resolve any type of dispute that the people are having. And the first Lok Adalat was set up on March 14, 1982 in Gujarat district, Junagadh, right? So this is very important information. It may be asked as a 1-mark question. So underline it and learn it, that where and when the first Lok Adalat system was set up. Now, an overview of laws on Lok Adalat. Pursuant to Article 39A. Now, I don't know if I have told you before or not, whenever this way it is written, capital A, if capital A is written, that means this provision was inserted into the Constitution of India as a part of an amendment. Okay, so wherever this capital A is written, you see, there should be a direct and instinct in your mind that if it's written capital A, that means it's inserted into the Indian Constitution by way of an amendment. Okay, So pursuant to Article 39A of Constitution of India, Parliament has enacted the Legal Services Authorities Act 1987. This provides for various provisions of dispute settlement through Lok Adalat. This constitutes legal services authorities to provide free legal aid and competent legal services to the weaker sections of society. In 2002, the Act was amended to establish permanent Lok Adalats for public utility services. Now you see, there are some people, like as we know in our society, we have some rich, we have some middle class people, and we have some weaker sections of the society who can't really afford those 2 square meals of a day. So how now, it's not that they are not having any problems in their life. They do have. They may also indulge in a dispute that would require them to be to go into a court and to fight their cases there. And if they go to a regular court or a high court or a supreme court maybe, then there the lawyers have so expensive fees to stand and to fight a case on behalf of them for an hour or so, or for 2 hours, or for a day even. They charge huge amount of money as their payment. So it's practically not possible for those weaker sections or poor or middle class people to afford such expensive lawyers, such expensive successful lawyers, right? So, and in India also, every person has a right to be represented in courts, right? Rich people can easily afford those successful expensive lawyers if they approach a higher court of law, but that is not practically possible for those poor or weaker sections of the backward sections of the society. So to deal with this and to provide them free legal aid means help, so that they may also get at the same level as those of the rich class people, and they may also have the right to represent themselves in an efficient manner in the courts. For that, free of cost legal representation is provided to them. Means free of cost, a lawyer is appointed who will represent those weaker section or the weaker person of the party of to the dispute, right? So for that, we have the Legal Services Authorities Act 1987 by Article 39A of Indian Constitution, and this Legal Services Authorities Act 1987 was further amended in 2002, wherein permanent Lok Adalat system was established so that public utility services can be they may also be able to approach the Lok Adalat system and resolve their disputes. Furthermore, National Legal Services Authority (NALSA), a statutory body constituted under National Legal Services Authorities Act 1987, is responsible for laying down policies and principles for making legal services under the Act and frame the most effective and economical schemes for legal services. NALSA is engaged in providing legal services, legal aid, and speedy justice through Lok Adalats. Now, National Legal Services Authority (NALSA) is basically a statutory body. Statutory body means which is a body or an organ or an institute which is established or which is set up by virtue of a statute, and statute can be an amendment act also. Statute may be any order which is passed by the government as part of an amendment. Okay, so that is statute. So, and a body which is set up by virtue of a statute is called a statutory body. And since NALSA is set up or it's constituted through this National Legal Services Authorities Act, so we say that it is a statutory body and this act is a statute. Okay. And what's the purpose? Why we have set up this NALSA? So that the free legal aid that we have to provide, तो नालसा के ही लॉयर्स होते हैं जो रिस्पॉन्सिबल होते हैं, नालसा के वर्कर्स होते हैं who are responsible so that the weaker sections or the backward sections of society, they are properly represented in the courts and whatever legal services, and how it has to be run efficiently, what economical or legal schemes can be provided, can be made, so that the poor people can also have their rights at a par with the rich or up sections of the society. For all those things, to make policies, to make provisions for that, we have NALSA as a body. And it also responsible for providing legal services, free legal aid, and speedy justice through lok adalats. Means its work is basically associated with lok adalats, so that the people can get free legal aid and their matters are also resolved at a short span of time. It also disburses funds and grants for implementing legal aid schemes, literacy camps, and programs. Similarly, state legal services authorities and district legal services authorities have been constituted in every state capital and districts respectively. At the country level, we have NALSA. At the state level, in the capital of the state, basically, we have State Legal Services Authority. In each state in India, we have that. And in districts, we have district level services authorities. Okay, now ombudsman, next video. Thank you.